Welcome to the loop.
Fail.
Sorry.
Kuipers.
Well, welcome to the loop. This is a talk show about video games. You have come to the right place. If you're wondering why you're here or how you got here,
I don't know how I got here.
please seek medical attention because obviously you are confused.
I need to seek medical attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, Eye Shield 5.
Welcome
Thank you
to the chat
for joining us.
Click the heart if you haven't already.
Jolliver, thank you, as always, for joining us. Muni Teddy, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for yelling at Kuipers.
Kuipers is here, because obviously you can see it's a light shift tonight.
Yes.
All of the staff has called in sick. They say the flu is the worst it's ever been. And
They
then
have said that.
None of the shots worked this year. None of the vaccines worked. Like 10%
ever work.
Oh yeah, they do.
I don't know.
Are you one of them anti-vaxxer weirdos, Kyle?
No, specifically when it comes to the flu shot.
Oh, they work. Because I've
mostly-
gotten them and I've not gotten them. And those years that I've not gotten them I didn't get one this year, so I'm terrified. But it wouldn't have mattered, though.
Mostly the reason that I never get them is because I watched my dad get them all the time when I was growing up, and he'd get sick every year. So,
But it's not supposed to. See, that's where people get wrong, are confused about it, which I was too. Here's why. Because I said the same thing to my wife, and I was like, this flu shot is baloney. I get sick anyways. And she's like, but do you remember how sick you were when you didn't get the flu shot? So supposedly, it's supposed to lessen the blow.
Right.
And it's supposed to be. Then there's two forms of influenza, right? There's like the pukey kind, and then like the fever, headache, cold kind of flu too. And so I don't know which one. I think it only actually covers the like achy, cold-ish kind of flu because it's like not the pukey one. So
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. A lot of people are scared of them or don't like them. Just do what you do.
I just don't get them because I don't like needles.
I hate freaking needles.
And I don't usually get sick very often with like the flu. I get the cold all the time. But when it comes to like a flu, it feels like it's few and further between. So
yeah,
I figure if my immune system is keeping me from getting it most years, why introduce it into my system and potentially make myself sick by introducing it? So that's my take. But
I mean, sure, yeah, that could be valid. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sounds creepy to put a virus in you in general, but I guess
does.
that's how all vaccines work. So that's just the way
It's
it
true.
is. I mean, a lot of people are scared of vaccines, but we're really not here to talk about that. But
Right.
I would say please vaccinate people. If you think you don't think vaccines are good, please seek out someone with polio and talk to them about it. And then maybe that'll change your tune.
iShield says, I'm sick at the moment too. We're sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, Trevor, he got called into a very important space mission. He's actually in Houston right now.
Yeah.
He got called out there last Thursday. He's going to be back probably Wednesday for the loop.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yes.
Right, not tonight
obviously
for this
not
episode
Wednesday,
of the loop.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, so he'll be, Trevor will be back after his very important mission for NASA. He's not in space. He's on, ground control. But the thing is, they had heard he had played so much Star Citizen. They knew he was the man.
He was
for the
man
job.
for the job.
They called him up. They said, Trevor, get here now.
He's looking for that lost rocket, right? That one that they SpaceX sent a government rocket up, and it never reached orbit. and is lost.
Yeah, they're trying to find that.
So
you weren't really
Trevor's-
supposed to disclose that.
It was all over the news.
but-
I figured it was
But we
okay.
weren't supposed to let people know that Trevor was involved. I think he could get in trouble now. His life could be in jeopardy potentially.
He just became a big target for evereveryone.
But that's okay. Kyle.
man.
I mean, you
None
failed.
of that
You failed
really-
him as a friend.
None of that actually happened.
No, it's true.
None of
It is
that.
actually. It's
Yeah, it is
true.
a true
Please-
story.
We don't want to spread lies. This is.
Only sickness. That's all we'll spread.
Teddy wants to know: is it a planet full of grandmas or something? Potentially. I mean, they're senior citizen aliens. That's all we know.
They're really old aliens. So Trevor was into it.
Now, Jeremy, he's not here for another reason. Now, Kyle, do you think I should explain the whole reason he's not here? Because I feel like it's going to be long-winded. But
It might be long-winded, but I'll allow it.
Okay,
I'll
so
allow it.
So he probably doesn't want us to tell you too much about what went down. I can say it involves the police, and it involves a dog with rabies.
Yep.
Really what happened is, you know, Jeremy, he's kind of the Yosemite Sam.
Yep.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
He really is.
Yeah. So little hang up with the police. He got tased. Hit the ground pretty hard.
Classic Jeremy.
But see, well, the problem is
Really shouldn't be telling this.
the problem is it started because like his neighbor has this dog that Jeremy thought had rabies, right? And it totally did. And so
he was somewhat vindicated.
He was confronting them about it. The cops got called. He got a little rootin' tootin', got tased. He fell. It freaked the dog out. The dog bit him. He's upstairs right now recovering from rabies.
Yeah.
This is really bad. He had to get shots. He isn't foaming at the mouth, thankfully. But
he
thoughts and prayers with Jeremy tonight.
Thoughts and prayers.
Really,
It was a real Michael Scott office type of situation there with some rabies.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if
So
you can donate to a rabies fund.
yeah. He'll be back tomorrow night. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I think
he'll be feeling better.
He's on the mend.
And the meds, the rabies meds.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what those are called.
He's gonna get really mad at us when he finds out that we told you guys.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about that. Yeah. But you've come to the right place. We're very happy to have you here on The Loop. It's a talk show about video game. And, I had chili for dinner and I just burped. And if you smell it, I'm really sorry, Kyle. It was kind of smelly and I feel bad
And
now.
is it coming out both ends?
Nope.
Okay.
It just was the top one. It was
All right.
It was the upper decker. So
Just the attic.
yeah, just the attic.
Upper deckers. Those.
Yeah. No, what's it's weird not to talk about the weather, but I got to say it's like 45 degrees out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was outside in just a sweatshirt.
I just wore a sweatshirt here tonight. I didn't bring a jacket.
Yeah.
I looked at the temperature. It's going to be 45 until about 2 a.m.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
and then it's going to start dropping. And supposedly the end of the world is coming.
Yeah, because it's supposed to start raining at about midnight or 11
Yeah.
or something.
and freeze.
And then at about 3 a.m., it's going to solidify, and then everything that's falling is going to become snow.
Yeah.
On top of all the ice on the
So
ground.
when we get up in the morning, it's going to be a skating rink with snow, and everything's closed in town now. Like all the schools and colleges and some businesses and things
Some
like that.
businesses are closing. Some places, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see if we wake up to a crazy frozen
I've been
world.
thinking about your tweet all day about how it's beautiful outside, and it's hard to imagine that tomorrow it'll be Hoth, but it's true. It is going to be that way, and
It'll be scary, but we'll have the tauntauns to keep us warm.
Just lukewarm, though.
Yeah, that's true. Only lukewarm, but really, that'll keep us alive.
good job, Kuipers.
Thanks.
So in Kuipers, he's here. He's kind of our special guest in spirit. He's hanging out, kind of floating over there.
Hey, log in.
Log in, fail.
Log in.
It says don't die. We will do our best not to. Thank you.
iShield 5 says Kingdom Come Deliverance next month. Is that looks like a role-playing game that's coming out?
Ooh, on the PlayStation 4, Xbox.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. We should probably talk about video games since
Yeah,
it is
we
a
should
talk
talk about
show
some video games.
Kyle, I got to ask,
Yeah.
have you been, I mean, now that we're kind of in, rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan, that's actually accurate, T-Poker. He had passed like a while back.
Yep.
He was great in Green Mile. I did enjoy him in that. What games have you been playing now that it's kind of the lull? It's kind of that New Year lull where games aren't really coming out.
Well, I finished. I don't remember if I had finished it by last week. I finished Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. Without spoiling it, I mean, it ended kind of the way that I expected it to, but there was a bit of a twist that I didn't anticipate, that I don't know that I liked as well as what I was thinking it was going to do.
A twist, huh?
Yeah, just in the way that they delivered the ending. It was a little different than, I don't know. Whew. Wow, that snuck up out of nowhere. It felt like, to some degree, it kind of pulled back from some of the awesomeness of your character throughout the game, because it didn't seem like he was as integral at the very end as I had hoped that he would have been. That was my only complaint. But I finished that, started playing...
I think it was a very good ending for equal rights. I think it really...
Sure.
I think that's what it was.
I'll give you that. Let's see. I started Prey, which you played a little bit of, right? You didn't finish it?
Yeah,
Or
I've
did you
got
finish
about... I think I put about 8 hours into it.
Okay. It seems like it's all right so far. I think you're kind of right. It seems like it's a little bit of a Dishonored in space, with a little bit of the Fallout, grab everything that you can because you can turn it into things. And then I've also started, for the very first time, Skyrim
On Switch, right?
Yep. And I don't know if I'm very good at it yet or not. I'm only a few hours in, so...
I don't know that it's a game you get good at.
Well,
I mean,
you
just play
I
it.
think mostly because I'm not sure that I figured out the bow and arrows, or the bow and arrow that I have is so underpowered for some giants that I came across and died like 4 or 5 times.
If you're only a few hours in, you're not strong enough to fight giants yet.
Yeah,
so.
I got thrown way up in the air and
you should
was like,
walking.
I should do that again a couple times before I thought I should sneak around these guys and not worry about them. But yeah, it's fun so far. I'm excited to see where the rest of it goes. And what are you looking at over
Sorry.
there?
You shouldn't reference that, Kyle.
I'm sorry.
The
That
people at home
was a
can't
large
see it.
GIF on your screen of what appears to be a guy that is going to pop open a beer can on someone's head,
A lady's head.
and he instead crushes her face.
Yeah, ouch. It looks,
Oh, she does not look like she is happy with him after that.
yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to just, do that and distract you. Go on.
So, no,
you know what I'll
I'm
do is
excited
I'll
about-
put that on our Minute
I'm
Hub Twitter account
I'm
right
excited
now,
about
so you
getting
can-
further into Skyrim, especially I've discussed some things with some people on our Discord, just as far as what to expect and some very loose guidelines on how to play. So I'm excited to see where that goes and what kind of trouble I can get myself into.
I think it looks really good on the Switch, and for being an older game,
Right.
and as big as it is, it runs pretty well on there. It seems to be a steady 30 frames.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any real chugging or anything like that. So
It's surprising to me. Okay, there are some things with that game where you go, okay, it's showing its age, but I feel like it just still holds up as a game. Like, it still really holds up, and I think that's why so many people continue to play it on so many different platforms. Go ahead, Kuipers. What were you gonna say?
Also, probably because they have, it's otherwise the only other Elder Scrolls game current to play would be Elder Scrolls Online. So there hasn't really been a new one since then. Is why people also go back to playing.
some
it.
people are really into that.
there
but
wasn't another one that they had released since then.
No.
Well, there's been
Other
Elder
than
Scrolls Online.
the online one, right?
There's Online Morrowind.
Oh, okay. Was there an online Morrowind and then online Elder Scrolls?
Well, that
Or-
was Online Morrowind is an expansion for
Oh, okay.
Tamriel Unlimited. So
But yeah, that's speaking of the Switch. I've been playing a lot of Battle Chef Brigade, and I think that's on PC and Switch. But I've been playing on the Switch, and that is not the type of game that I would normally consider to be my type of game, like
I'm
a
not
game
sure
that I
I'm
would
familiar
enjoy
with
playing.
It. What is it?
I mentioned it, I think, on our Game of the Year show last week, but it's really just it's kind of a puzzle RPG game.
Okay.
And so you're a chef. It's kind of like, what is it, Iron Chef, where they have like the competitions and the chefs have to cook for the
right,
judges. And then you have like special ingredients you have to use.
Right.
And then you have to try to cater to the judges' tastes. And so it's very much that. And you have to go and you hunt these animals in like pretty much here's your kitchen, and there's like a counter, like 3 stovetop areas, and then you can just leave out the door always and just go hunt monsters pretty much.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of monsters out there that you can kill, and you collect their body parts to make in your stew.
So Monster Hunter meets Overcooked?
Kind of, not really Overcooked as
Okay,
much as like
but-
a match 3 puzzle game of sorts.
Okay.
You know how I love body part soup.
Yeah. But
Monster body part soup.
It just keeps adding new game mechanics into it that keep it interesting, and like the story is surprisingly well written. Like the writing is good, and there's actually really decent voice acting. It's kind of anime-ish, but it's still, I don't know. If you get your hands on it, I would say check it out. It's really fun if you're okay with some puzzling and some. I mean, the combat is just basic as ever. There's some like you learn some new attack moves and stuff, but you can take anything down by mashing a button if you want to. But it's really good. I've been primarily playing that, and Skyrim on the Switch is about it. I don't think I've played.
Yeah, I was playing the other
anything
night, and I
else.
saw you were playing Skyrim too.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of that. It can really just kind of suck you. It's that game that can just suck you in, and you're just like, oh, I got to do this thing, and I got to do. It's just that checklist type of game, and you just keep going and checking things off your list, and you've lost like 3 hours just from doing.
I don't have a ton on my list yet to try and check off, but
I guess it's not even about quantity. It's just about there's always something, though. You know what I mean? And
right.
it's like, oh, I got to go do the next thing, and I got to, So
I gotta get level 100 smithing, or
yeah. So I don't know. It's a good game. I think it's the more anything becomes popular, it becomes, people tend to start to dislike it for whatever reason, and I think it gets some hate that's probably unwarranted because of that. But
I mean, I get the fact that like it's. I don't know. I guess the more that I've started to play it, I understand why people sunk so much time into it. And I'd missed the boat on that game, and it was just like, oh, okay. I guess it seems like it's a pretty good game, but I think I like it. I think I'm enjoying it so far. So we'll see how many hours deep we get.
all right, should we get some gaming news? Or no, games of the week. What games are coming out? That's what we need to
Games
know.
of the week. We know you can't wait to get your grubby little hands on them.
All right, here's your games of the week.
It's been a while since we've actually done some of this stuff because last
I
week
know.
we had our game of the year special.
We were
so
off
we didn't.
for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we didn't do any of the
Yep.
stuff that we usually do.
Hey, Trevi99,
Hey.
finally what? You finally tuned in? Or we're finally talking about video games?
I think it was that he finally played Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
Stop sneezing on me.
Yeah, I'm glad I
Stop
wait.
sneezing
Yeah,
on
you're sneezing
Kuipers.
on me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kuipers.
Not many games coming out, but
Early January.
Yeah.
It's the slow season. It's time to catch up on all those other games.
yeah. As you know, it's we tell you the games from today to next Tuesday, and keep you in the loop that
Yeah.
way. Only 2 games. The Escapists 2 is coming out on the Switch
This was on my list.
for January 11th.
On your list.
His game of the year list.
It's on his list.
Hey, did you ever get that finished writing your article for the website, Kuipers?
I was wondering why you had convenently forgotten to provide Kuiper's list.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
I gave him
Way
I
to
gave
fail,
him a
Kuipers.
weekend to finish, and his
Way to
paper is
fail.
late. So
You're getting a failing grade right now.
Anyways, so yeah, this is on the Switch. I haven't. The first one is pretty intriguing. My kids were playing it, and I was like, "What are you guys playing?" And they were like, "On the Xbox," because it was a free game. The first one,
Right.
was. And Dexter was like, I'm a prisoner escaping from jail," and I was like, "Oh, cool. This could come in handy later in life." Teddy would like us to know that Escapist already came out on Vita. Was that Escapist 1 or 2?
Yeah,
So,
did the second one make it to the Vita?
Yeah, so Trevi says, "Sorry guys, I'm on a new PC and I had to put in all my account info."
Ugh.
But hey,
That's always the worst, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, unless it's like you got a new PC and like it's new and it's exciting, or if you just are borrowing one, that's a bummer. But if you got like a new one for you personally, then congratulations.
Right. I just meant like that's the worst part of getting a new computer. Is
No, I
trying to
understood.
get through all that.
Next
junk.
game that's out, there's only 2 this week, is Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, which maybe, I mean, Street Fighter 5 is all right, but there were just so many, the way you buy characters and just some of the, I don't know, the story was kind of bad.
It's the arcade version.
So
So what's different
hopefully
about the arcade
The
version?
Arcade Edition really, really, just really brings it out, brings out the best of this game. I mean, I always was a Street Fighter fan, and I bought Street Fighter 5 on PC, and I didn't play it very much. So there's that. That's your games of
Yeah,
the week.
that's your
So-
games. Not a
Pretty
lot to
light
get
week.
excited about this week.
So really, I mean, unless you're really into the Escapists too, I'd say just finish up your list of shame,
Yeah.
which I feel like, man,
I feel like I've got a large list of shame that will never get unshamed. So,
yeah,
but I feel like I've played through a large chunk of the games that were absolutely critical last year. So I feel like my list was strong. It just was shorter than I would have liked.
I was looking at it. I was looking at games that I had installed on my PC, and I was like, okay, what kind of bigger, like maybe AAA
Right.
games or whatever, did I not finish? And I was like, wow, this is probably a bad year for me because like I didn't finish Shadow of War. I didn't finish.
That one had a lot of grind at the end game, though,
Yeah,
didn't
and
it?
I was pretty close
That's what I've heard.
to that part, so that's
Okay.
what was kind of turning me off. I was like, I don't know if I want to put all this time in for that. I didn't finish Sniper Elite 4, but that game, I just always, I like stealth games, but I want to be able to, I like them like I like Hitman or something like that, where I want to play stealth as long as I want to play stealth.
Right.
But then when I'm bored of stealth, I want to just be able to go in guns blazing. Where this game is not very fun to do that. You could do it that way, but it's really meant to be stealthy. And
Yeah.
like if you go in guns blazing, one, the controls aren't that great for that, and your health is very limited, and you just die right away.
That's kind of how I felt about Hitman, was that it was just very, very hard to play it in that way.
you can, but
you
you
can
can
do
you
it.
can like get in there and like evade people is what I mean, like pretty quickly.
Right.
And I think that's what I
Okay,
why I
so
kind
like
of
if
enjoyed.
you
But in
get
this
yourself
game,
into a gunfight, you can find a place to get yourself out of it,
and
but you
some
can't
of the
in
close-up combat
Sniper.
stuff is pretty good in Hitman, and that stuff just isn't in this game. I just feel like there's not
Yeah.
good ways to get out of it once you've caused a ruckus.
Right.
So it is fun because of the slow motion stuff, but I just couldn't get into it. But there's like 2 other games that I was just like, wow, I can't. Oh well. But lots of video games. Trevor says, sounds like me, Eric. Yeah, see, that's like Metal Gear. That's why I think that game is one of my favorites, which, I wanted to talk about that. Are we talking
Yeah.
about that tonight at all?
I don't think so. I saw you tweet something about
yeah,
that. Was that last night?
I think so, yeah. Because they released a new trailer for Metal Gear Survive.
And that's the one that Kojima has
Nothing
to do with.
Yeah.
That Konami's putting out, right?
Yeah, what I wanted to say real quick was that when I played Metal Gear Solid 5, I really liked that game because you could be very stealthy or you could be very loud, and
Yeah.
it didn't matter. I mean, it felt a little more rewarding to be stealthy, but you could kind of do whatever.
Right. It felt like it was a good game that moved in the way that you wanted it to, either way that you went.
Trev says also great stealthy game is Splinter Cell Blacklist on the PS3. I like the Splinter Cell games. I'm hoping they bring one back. Those games were really fun. But anyways, with Metal Gear Survive, they have taken kind of the guts of the game, and they are now playing. I don't know. It's interesting because it almost looks like a hodgepodge of, almost looks a little bit like Dead Rising. It almost looks, I don't know, almost like it reminds me a little bit of even, what's that? A Battleborn. Or no, Battle. What's the game that's ripped off Battlegrounds? Fortnite.
Fortnite.
It almost kind of has a little bit of that to it because it's got fort building and stuff like that. A lot of zombie killing. But the thing is, when you heard about the mistreatment of Kojima by Konami, and you heard about the mistreatment of their employees,
right,
and just a lot of bad situation there. So I just wanted to write off Metal Gear Survive completely. I just wanted to kind of be like, I'm not even interested in that game.
Sure.
But after I saw this trailer, it really looks good. It doesn't look like Metal Gear Solid. It just looks like it could be a pretty fun game if you're into that thing. I thought it was going to be multiplayer focused, but this trailer made it look like it had a single player kind of campaign. It looks like a disgrace to the whole Metal Gear series, in my opinion.
Says Trevi.
Zombies, come on. Yeah, that's the thing. The zombie thing's there? I get it. That stuff, I get the zombie trope thing. I'm like, I don't care. But the gameplay looks interesting because there's a lot of crafting. Like, you're chopping down trees to get resources.
Okay.
And I don't know. That always kind of.
This is a lot of the mother base building.
No, listen. It looks like a lot of the bases are actually just in the desert. I mean, this opening scene is like that, but that's not really. I didn't see much mother base other than this.
Okay.
Kind of cinematic.
So it's like Minecraft.
Yeah.
You're crafting.
Yeah.
You make protection from zombies.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess. Sure. It's most reductive form.
I mean, really, like to try and say something like zombies seem weird to fit into that into the Metal Gear series. There's so much weird stuff that happens in the Metal Gear series.
There are already those weird, like, ghosty characters.
Yeah,
in the game,
like
main game.
all the weird. I mean, the Metal Gear weapons themselves are.
Yeah.
Just super crazy. And there was a lot of that zombie type of thing that they were fighting against in 5 anyway. So
I just wanted to believe that this was just some sort of weird, like they just tacked it on to the Metal Gear engine, and there was that, and they were just trying to make some more money off of it while they could. But I'm looking at it, I feel like, I mean, it's definitely not the direction that I think Kojima would have gone in, but I feel like there's maybe some passion behind this, like in their team.
For the series
for this,
itself.
at least, for whatever this is. Like, I don't know, but it looks interesting. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out, what it'll be like. You know what?
When is that?
It's like soon, like February, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. February 20th.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, one of us in the tub we're gonna play that game, and you come back and we'll tell you if it's worth your time.
Yeah.
You know,
there will be at least one.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Just come visit us, and we'll tell you if it's if it's really worth your time.
Yeah, that's it for new games.
So we should jump into probably the news portion, right?
Keeping you in the loop with the latest gaming news.
All right. Kyle, do you want to be in the loop?
Yes, I do like being in the loop with the latest
news.
Gaming news.
Okay, good. All right. This first story that we have comes from trustedreview.com. It says HTC Vive Pro, everything you need to know about the next level VR headset.
Yeah, this thing looks pretty, I suppose.
I have not heard anything about this yet.
It looks like it's something that is going to be much better headset.
So this is like the next generation of their.
So there still is going to be the regular Vive,
okay.
but this is a Vive Pro. So it's supposed to have a 2880 by 1600 dual OLED display, which falls a little bit short of the 4K resolution, but still is 78% greater than the originals.
Which is a bummer when it's something that close to your eyes. It would be good to have 4K. But.
Right.
Wait, so you're saying the original is 4K?
No, it was rumored that the Pro was going to hit 4K.
Okay.
So this was announced during CES.
Not that far off, though.
Yeah, it's not too far. It was announced during CES 18. They said that another thing that that is an improvement over the original Vive is the integration of a dual front-facing camera, dual microphones, and headphones with built-in amplifier. On the current model, the headphones were only available as an add-on. And it's got a blue color scheme, as if you're watching this, you can see on the screen down there.
It looks sexy.
It does look nice. And it looks like this has got something where it's packaged so that all of the headphones are directly on that. I know what is it that Trevor has? Does he have
Just
the
adds
Oculus
headphones.
or just
He has
okay?
No,
he has
the
the
Vive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing that they're saying is that it also is going to have a redesigned head strap, which is going to make it easier for users to resize to suit your head.
Fat heads.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like the original was as friendly with that. I don't think any of us really had too much of a problem when we were playing Trevor's, but it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. They also announced a wireless adapter which will work with both the Vive and the Vive Pro. So that aspect will be really cool for users, and it doesn't matter which kind you have, you can get yourself in on that as well. So,
Okay. Does it have a price?
I don't know. I didn't see a price.
I'm wondering if they'll release it at the $800 price point and then drop the Vive down.
They
some.
may. Yeah, it
Uh,
doesn't look like they provided, at least in this article, there's no price that I'm seeing.
So honestly, that's like one of the things. Like, I feel like VR. I wanted VR to prove itself, and I don't know that it's necessarily has proved itself yet. But I felt like there's no way that I want to buy a VR headset first generation. Like, I kind of want to wait and see where it goes. But now seeing this though, I'm just like, oh, I really want to have money. I want to.
Yeah.
That would be cool to have money
I still
to buy this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's the thing. It's like the only thing is like I still kind of feel like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna if I get it, and then I would play it like a lot for like the first week that I had it, and then the rest of the time I would check out stuff when it was announced. Oh, there's a new game come out. I'd probably play like a little bit of it, and then be like, oh, that was cool. And then other than that, it's just gonna be like someone comes over my house and be like, oh, you gotta try this.
Right.
And then that's all it's gonna be to me for like ever. I never like, or I'll bring it and we'll do a stream with it or something. But it's
Right.
just like,
Or you'll invite me over to play it.
maybe.
Finally get that Rick and Morty simulator.
That'll be the first thing we play if I
Yes.
buy it. Yes.
So if you want to get rich, that's cool with me.
I'll just steal some money from something. Somewhere.
That sounds like a plan.
What? You know what? I'll steal it from Jeff. What's his name? Jeff
Bezos?
Bezos. Bezos.
Yeah.
Did you hear he's now officially the richest man in the world?
He could lend us a couple bucks
He's
for
got
one of these, right?
His net worth is $105 billion.
You should just try and find his email and just be like, "Hey Jeff, I know you're really loaded. So can you just float a few $100s for me to get a VR
Vive.
headset?
Yeah, I just need a VR.
That's all I need.
Yeah, you know.
I'll never bug you again."
But I was thinking about it. I was like, he's worth $105 billion. Obviously, he doesn't have that much in his pocket, but that's his net worth.
Sure
But
he doesn't.
$105 billion. I mean, imagine like if he could just give Minutub just one of those billions, what we could accomplish.
Oh my gosh.
How we could change the world.
The world would be changed.
I think so.
Hey, welcome to the chat, Who Vivian 1227. Hello.
Welcome.
Click on that heart. That way
Please.
you know every time that we go live.
Yes, please do that. All right, our next story comes from CNN.com. It says, WHO, that's the WHO,
World Health Organization.
that's it, to recognize gaming disorder as mental health condition in 2018.
Yeah, they're saying that playing
Are you trying
games.
to? Okay, Kuiper set up the PowerPoint tonight, and I have a feeling he's trying to trigger Teddy. Using those Vita.
I like it.
Wrong one. There we go. Is that better?
Oh no!
I got it before. I guess before we say things, I just gotta say, when I was looking up images for it, a lot of them had Vitas in the picture. Like
Really?
Really?
like news headlines seem to just target either tablets. Like you see a bunch of pictures of like kids playing on tablets, or just like really close-ups of the Vita. And from the charger point, it looked like it was like in a display or something like that, but
That is
or
funny.
like at like some conference.
That's funny. You triggered Teddy. He's
Oh
upset.
yeah. So
very upset.
that first picture was a Vita, and then this one is
League, it looks
Jeremy
It was-
level.
Yeah, this is a Jeremy
and
level
this-
Photoshop.
This was where Trevor took over.
I mean,
though,
there's
too, so.
Oh,
this is
okay.
what Trevor
Yeah.
took over. Okay.
Although he only added the one fantastic face there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a doctor that looks very confused, and
Yes.
a patient on a chair. Thank you for following,
Hey, yeah,
thanks.
Hoovian. Thank you very much.
Huvian.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're saying that video game playing obsessively might lead to a diagnosis of a mental health disorder. In the beta draft of its forthcoming 11th International Classification of Disease, the World Health Organization includes gaming disorder in its list of mental health conditions. They define the disorder as a persistent or recurrent behavior pattern of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other areas important areas of functioning. The disorder is characterized by impaired control with increasing priority given to gaming and escalation despite negative consequences. My initial thought with reading that is that this sounds like you are just talking about addiction, which I think is already in there. I don't know why it has to be something that is
Gaming
defined
specific.
as gaming specific, because I don't think that addiction I mean, I suppose there is a when you look at stuff like in the way that they would have those set up and classified, they probably do have something for gambling and an addiction to alcohol, addiction to narcotics, and things like that. So I guess from that aspect, I can see why they would feel the need to put that in there. But
I just feel like it's like grandmothers who are like, my grandson only plays the video games, and then like is just like upset about it. I mean, doesn't the World Health Organization have something more important to do? Like, how about we address the fact that hundreds of kids on the internet are eating Tide Pods? Why don't we talk about that? Like, what we could talk about that, but no, you want to focus on gaming addiction.
And so then we can diagnose it and then treat it.
There's a video going around of a furry putting Tide Pods on a frozen pizza and baking it.
that sounds like
yeah.
a crime against humanity.
Supposedly Tide Pods are delicious. So I mean, yeah, they
But-
look tasty. They
But
look
the
like
World
candy.
Health Organization needs to set this. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can see that if it sounds like it's something that this headline is probably trying to get more clicks. Because it's going to say that gaming disorder, the headline itself, recognizing gaming disorder as mental health condition, doesn't really specify the fact that this is more about people that have an addiction problem with games,
Yeah.
which is completely different from the perception that headline would give you, saying that if you are a gamer, you've got a disorder and it's going to be part of a mental health condition, which is not the case. There's addictions to all kinds of different things out there. It doesn't mean that is something that is detrimental to everyone, but there are people that have real big problems, just like alcohol, narcotics. I mean, there are people that don't have the same kinds of problems with those things and would be able to just say, I'm done, I don't need to deal with this anymore,
Yeah.
at any time, or just, do it as in a way that is not detrimental to their health.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like it's a bit off. At least in the way that they presented the article itself.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think I think you can be addicted to anything, right? Like I think technically, I mean, not to just blanket statement, but I think people can have problems with anything. And that's it's like, I mean, it's a slippery slope because it's hard for people to hold themselves accountable to that or to even accept the fact that maybe they are addicted to something. So I don't know. I get it. I get that this is a thing, but it's just sometimes it just feels. I mean, and like you said, this maybe is a little clickbaity, so that's
Yeah,
not
I think
completely-
because I mean that was my initial thought was what on earth, and then after reading the article, it's like okay, so they're specifying it in a way that they would specify it for anything that an addiction is. It's just specified out as an addiction to something specific, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, but. You know, the way that it's presented seems like it's not in the best interest, and it seems like it's geared to get a lot of grandmas and whatnot to click on that and say, oh, yeah, there's a real problem with video games.
They're so bad.
I saw a tweet the other day from a sports journalist who also had done a lot of political stuff. I don't know if you have heard of Keith Olbermann.
Yeah.
And he was tweeting about how a sports site that was set up by a lot of athletes had an article written by a professional gamer and how he'd been cut from his team or whatnot, and saying something about they've really jumped the shark now because they've got a snot-nosed kid writing about their child's games. And I'm thinking, okay, if
He was
you're
griping because they had a video game
and I'm
journalist on
thinking
it, or
like,
a video
okay, so
game?
if you've got a professional video gamer who is writing about his experience on this sporting site that has been created by athletes to write about their specific experiences, and you're calling them snot-nosed kids, like it's a sad and kind of pathetic that he would make that big a deal out of it when he's spent a large chunk of his career covering people who are making millions of dollars playing a game that children literally play in their backyards with football or baseball or hockey, basketball. I mean,
That's a real man sport,
right.
though.
And I mean, I love all of those sports, and I think that there can be a lot of value in those and value for just society in general. I think that they're way overpaid, but that's a whole other argument. But the fact that you would single out the video game player who is professional and is making their living playing video games, writing about their experience in professional video games, and like just being that dismissive, it felt like it was something that was very similar to the way that the title of this article kind of just wants to dismiss gaming in general. As some fad that's going to ruin society.
Yes, video gaming is a fad. It will go away.
It's going to ruin society.
It's never going to return. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing, you know. And I hit on that stigma a little bit, I think, when I freaked out about HQ. Mm-hmm. But to add to that point, I think it's just one of those things where video games, they do have a stigma, and I think it's cool to see that has been changing. I think over the years, I think the more people are accepting the fact. I mean, really, we have the smartphones to thank for some of that, because I think a lot of people will play games, and I don't know, they don't. Maybe they might not even think of Candy Crush as a video game, but I think they're playing it, and I think that's really cool to get more people involved. And it came up I think one thing I talked about was as an adult human male. When you get, for example, 6 months ago or so, I started a new job, and people are always asking you about your hobbies, or what do you like to do, or what do you enjoy, and when you bring up video games, it's always a hit or miss thing. I always feel really scared to do it. But this time I was just you know what? I don't care. I can't be. If I'm really a person, I like video games. Why should I be scared to talk about it or bring it up? I'm not going to just sit and say, hey, video games are so much fun, whatever. But I do think it's, you see different reactions, and some people just don't get it. And that's fine. Some people don't get sports. Some people don't get other, taxidermy. Some people are really into taxidermy.
Right.
But other people don't enjoy taxidermy.
There's a lot of hobbies that people have that other people look at and really, that's what I don't get it. I don't get why you would find enjoyment in that. And it's the same.
But I think video games are one of the. It's because it would be almost the same as if I not most. I shouldn't generalize it, but to a lot of people who would not understand video games, it would be me coming up to them and saying, I like to go home at night and play with my action figures. and then
Right.
right before mommy changes my poopy. Like,
But I
and
think
then
I think that
like,
the stigma is changing largely because as kids are growing up, I mean, people our age grew up playing video games. It's the
I
same
mean, it's
thing as
dying
like
off,
playing
yeah.
playing cards. You know, that your grandparents have card games and board games that they would play and that they would play frequently throughout the week because it was a game that they played. It's the same exact thing. And it's, for some reason, I think there was the idea that a lot of people had that as we grew up, the video game idea would be, that's something that I don't need in my life anymore. When it's still is something that is very much geared towards people that are kids as well as adults. And I think that that's something that you're going to see a lot more of that kind of stuff as society. I mean, as people our age continue to grow older. I mean, when we're grandparents, it's going to be something that most of society is going to just completely accept, I think, because so many people will be at that point that, I mean, it may come to the point that you'll have younger people, like grandkids, that are saying, I don't get why you're playing these games.
with your hands.
Right.
You use your hands.
So-
Gross. Sorry, that's a Back to the Future quote. That was in 2015, and
That
we're
was
like
in
3 years
2015.
past that, so
Yeah.
we're still using our
we
hands.
still use our hands to play video games.
But I think the other side of it's going to be cool. I think I'll be glad when it's less stigmatized. But I don't know.
Hoovian is asking what our names are.
Hi, my name is Eric.
I'm Kyle, and the
I'm Kuipers.
ghost over here is Kuipers.
Kuipers is the one that. So usually we got Jeremy and we got Trevor as well. But like we already explained at the top of the show, you can watch that another time on youtube.com/minutub. Please subscribe to us there. We need subscribers. Are usually here joining us. And then Kuipers runs the show, but he's, magically imposing himself via the green screen.
No, that's trade secrets.
Oh, sorry.
Trade secrets.
The
It's
blue screen.
magic.
I was gonna add to cap off your thought, and I just totally lost it. So I'm a little bit bummed. Hey, Les Pac,
Hello.
what is up with you? This is The Loop. It's a talk show about video games, and we were talking about the health organization, the World Health Organization, classifying video game addiction as,
Video game addiction.
a problem.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a crazy doctor on the screen. So anyways, play video games. It'll be fun. It'll be great. We'll all
not a disease.
get along.
Unless you have an addiction, and then you may want to seek some help.
If you're wearing diapers and not sleeping and taking like caffeine pills or something, seek help. Next story comes from GameRevolution.com. Says creator of VRChats Ugandan Knuckles meme regrets his decision.
Yeah, this one I may ask you for a little more information on this, Kuipers, because I know
Sure
this
thing.
was your story. It's a meme that's been added to the VR chat, and essentially it's a weird looking Knuckles character that a bunch of them will group together in a lobby, and then they will use a fake Ugandan accent. They repeatedly ask other players if they know the way. And then they name one female player as their queen and then spit on other fake queens in the lobby and make clicking noises. And
Sounds wonderful.
it sounds terrible.
I at first thought saw videos of it, and I kind of made me think back to the cults that were happening in the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, because it basically kind of feels cultish because you have a bunch of kind of these little creatures like we kind of have on the screen here.
Yeah.
That these Knuckles look-alike things, and a lot of them oftentimes small, except for there will be the occasional big ones as well too, or ones of them stacked on top of each other. But yeah, people just kind of it's just a thing people are doing now. I would describe more, but you kind of hit the nail on the head there. They basically go around, they find someone, most often a female gamer, using an actual female character model, and she becomes the queen. And then they just start praising her, like follow around her. They follow her everywhere and just kind of do what she says.
Well, and it sounds like the guy that first created this is not very happy. He's put in a post, he said, "Please do not use this to bug the users of VRChat. Its community means a lot to me, and it would hurt me to see the rights of others users taken away and possibly restricted because of how out of hand it can get. Showing off their creativity and what they are capable of. For me, I'm in college and don't have a lot of time to get on like I would like to anymore. I remember making this and thinking, well, it could be funny to show off to my friends and possibly mess with users, but I've learned what kind of things I'm really capable of making. It's always fun to be the one with the models no one else has access to because I can make anything that I want to be. It's like that special place for me to get away from the real world and be someone I'm not. But right now, VRChat has become a meme ground, and I feel like I've helped dig a grave for VRChat. Soon enough, people are going to get tired of all the memes that now pollute the servers, and with 500 people trying to enjoy an event, they can't because there isn't enough moderation to hold down the rampant amount of memers. So please, think about the users you're playing with before they're all gone.
Memers.
Don't let it be a second life.
Oh boy. Well, you learn your lesson, and don't play with the weird knuckles.
Don't do it.
It's a trap.
Yeah. All right. Next story comes from GameRant.com. It says, rumor. This is a rumor. Xbox One achievement system to introduce loot boxes.
That's right.
The worst trend.
Well, and
ever.
It's probably going to be bad. It's something that a new report suggests that Microsoft is currently testing a system called Careers.
Can I unlock like clothing for my avatar?
Well, that's what they're saying that this is supposed to be, because Microsoft is currently preparing a new avatar system. So what they are saying is that this career system will allow players to level up, or this is what the report is saying, will allow players to level up, earn prestige ranks as they play games that they enjoy, and players will also reportedly be able to unlock loot crates that will contain cosmetic items that can be used with the new avatar system. The Xbox One career loot crates will also be supported by quests, so it may mean that you go complete a specific objective, including playing specific games. Completing the quests comes with rewards such as more experience points and additional loot crates. There's no certainty as to whether or not the loot crates can also be purchased with real money, which would be the real ugly part of this if that's what it is. Because, I mean, it's in very early development, and it is unclear whether Microsoft plans to offer paid unlocks when this feature launches or introduce them later down the line. So I could see it being something that doesn't really bother me as much. It's, if it's one of those things that it's going to be something that to unlock certain things, you have to go and do crazy amounts of stuff just to be able to get the loot box and maybe have a chance at it. But I mean, if it is something that's specifically tied to gear that you can use with your new avatar, I don't know if I'm as bummed about that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Anyone?
I don't care. This is stupid. It's just one of those things where it's like, if it's true, whatever, good. I mean, as long as it's not like, I mean, I don't. Is it going to be something where they're going to actually like? It's just going to be avatar based or profile based cosmetics, or is it going to be?
I think it sounds like for what the rumor is, it is supposed to be containing cosmetic items that can be used with the new avatar system that they're preparing to release.
I mean, that's fine.
So,
like who? I mean, it's hard because like the loot box thing. If it's something like this, like I don't care either way. Like sure, I'll play around with it. It'll be fine. It'll be enjoyable enough. But I'm not going to be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. If it was like, oh well, so and so, they have way more achievement points than me, so they're going to get like a special gun in Halo so they can beat everybody, then that's a little bit gross.
And it doesn't sound like that's what they would be doing with it. It sounds like it would be something that's specifically for the new avatar system. So if it is that, I mean, I really don't care. Sure, it's fun to have stuff that you can put on your avatar and look like an idiot, but
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if that's all it is, it's
I need my Doritos T-shirt and
Yeah.
and my Kool-Aid brand baseball cap.
You know me too well.
All right, let's move on to the next segment, shall we? Kuipers, shall we?
New month, more
There we
free
go.
games.
All right, here you go. Kyle, I'm gonna let you take this one away.
All right. So Xbox.
these are the free games of the
free
month.
games of the month. If you have Xbox Gold or PlayStation Plus. So for Xbox, right now you can get Van Helsing 3. I believe there's some kind of title that goes with it. It's RPG. That one's available any
It's
day
the
in
Incredible
January.
Adventures of...
That's it. The Incredible Adventures of
They're
Van Helsing.
so incredible, guys.
Which I think this is the second Van Helsing game that they've put on Games with Gold for free in the last year or so. You can get Zombie for Xbox One January 16th through February 15th. And then for the 360 and reverse, what do they call that? The backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider Underworld, January 1st through 15th. So you've got a few days to get that if you want to. And then on the 16th through the 31st, you'd be able to get Army of Two. For PlayStation, they're offering Starblood Arena. If you've got PlayStation VR, that's available from January 2nd to March 6th. The rest of these are all available until the first Tuesday of next month. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Batman: The Telltale Series. Those are both PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3, Sacred 3, The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, Psycho Pass, Mandatory Happiness for Vita. There you
Teddy.
go, Teddy.
Get excited.
And then Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny?
Uncanny.
Oh, I thought you
I was
said
trying to. I think it sounded a little more Kenny than Canny.
I was
but
like,
it is
wait,
Uncanny Valley.
It's a valley with no Kennys.
There's no Kennys. 'cause
finally
they're
a
all
valley
dead.
that I can visit.
Yeah, that one's on Vita. So all of those available in PlayStation through the month, and then of course your Xbox, they're split up in half and whatnot. So if you haven't already, and you like free games and you've got PlayStation Plus or Xbox Games with Gold, those are the games that are free for this
I was
month.
on the app trying to get them right now.
Yeah.
And then I realized that the Xbox ones, it never lets you purchase those for free
Oh, the
on the app.
360 ones,
The
it doesn't?
360 ones,
Okay.
yeah. Not the Xbox. They're all Xbox.
Yeah.
That's cool. I always like getting a free game now and then, and I feel like they're gonna run out or something eventually. Like I don't know.
Eventually,
I don't know. Maybe not. But it just feels like at least I don't know. There was a while where I felt like a lot of the games coming out, I'd always like try them, but now I just download them out of like obligation.
Right.
I don't actually like play them.
I don't play a whole lot of them, but I mean, I like the idea that if I ever am in a real dry spot,
I know
could-
you have this huge library.
Yeah,
that
I've
you
got a
could go
lot
play.
of old games I could go play.
Yeah, no, it is cool.
So,
All right, should we jump into that mail bag?
Check unheard messages.
Emails, voicemails, or DMs. We want to hear from you.
Mailbox number, please.
It's mail time.
First message.
It's mail time.
we have something.
Don't you know?
I don't. That wasn't for this one. Was
It's a mail time. Don't you know?
it? I don't know.
It's the mailbag for this show.
No one's messaged us.
We don't have any mail, but if you would like to mail us, please send us an email to theloop@meninatub.com. That's theloop@meninatub.com, or call us at 475-TUB-CALL. That's 475-TUB-CALL. Leave us a voicemail. Leave us that old VM, or send us a DM on Twitter.
Yeah.
Tweet at us. Send us
All
a
of the
message on
above.
Facebook. You know, I don't know, MySpace. Look us up on MySpace.
Yeah, if you
check
can
out
find
our
it.
check out our Vimeo account. I'm sure there's a way to message us there. Anything. YouTube. Comment on a video and say, hey, talk about this in your mailbag section.
Yeah.
All those things, but we don't have anything. So thank you to everyone for watching us this evening. But before we leave, before we part, before we, depart, before we exit in this mortal coil and leave into the warm winter night that will soon be colder at 3 a.m. It's time to thank our Patreon peeps. That's right, people. I like to just keep Kyle on his toes.
I didn't know what you were doing.
So he doesn't know when to cue that music. But no, this is a time on the show where we'd like to thank all of our beautiful, beautiful Patreon peeps. That's the people that you see in the shining Patreon coral right now. These names are the people that donate their hard-earned cash, and we really appreciate that. And they get access to things like, Patreon, early Viaria. Everybody wants a little Viaria early.
Get that Viaria real early.
All these special perks, you get it right there at patreon.com/MinuteHub. These are our co-producers. They're at the $10 level or higher. So that means they're just a little bit specialer than, everyone else. But thank you very much to all these peoples who Patreon us. That's the verb, right?
You Patreon us.
You Patreon us so good.
It's the best.
Oh, give me all your Patreon.
All the Patreon.
So, no, we really do appreciate it. Honestly, we have 5 patrons, and it feels great.
It does.
It makes us feel like we are important, and it keeps us going. Really,
it does.
I mean,
it does.
And we have money. We have a little bit of money stored away now, like a tiny bit, a very small bit. Maybe we can upgrade the infrastructure of the show. Maybe the goal is to eventually get into a studio and get out of grandma's basement and really have our own place where we can gather and just build out even a bigger, better, more impressive show for all of you. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. And it also helps us with being able to do events and stuff too,
like Comic-Con,
which is coming up sooner rather than later.
I mean, it's always coming up, really.
Yeah.
Even after it's over, it's coming up the next year.
It's so fun.
It's
a good weekend.
It feels like summer camp to me.
It does.
It's like I get to see all my friends, and we get to hang out,
spend 3 whole days together.
Oh, and we
hate each other by the end.
We didn't hate each other.
I know we didn't.
I think we were closer.
We were
bonded.
Closer. We did a live Tubcast.
Well, we always do a live Tubcast, but it was a.
I mean, like
locally
live with a live
audience.
student audience.
A student audience. Only the students could watch.
Only students. I stumbled heavily over the word studio and it turned into student.
No, but the Comic-Con was a lot of fun. It was. Hopefully, we get to do even more this year. There, the panel was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But hopefully we do more of this stuff because I mean we kind of harp on that because it's a big deal, and I know the people that don't live here or in the area, they don't get to experience that unless you're Crazy Legs and you drive 8 hours to join us.
Yeah.
But it was really a fun time, and I think hopefully we find other excuses to do that. I was looking on Twitch tonight, and you could see kind of our trajectory. Like, we're getting closer to becoming we're an affiliate, but we could become a partner, like on a path to partner. We need more concurrent viewers at the same time.
Tell all your friends.
But if we had 75
us.
people watching us on every stream, we would become Twitch partners. And then I think from there, maybe we go to TwitchCon and stuff like that. There's different things like that we can.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future. The future's excited about me and you. And we're all on this big, lovely train of life together. So choo-choo. All right, everybody. It's been a swell time. Let's all gather, come in close for a big bear hug. I want to give you a big warm hug, everyone. Right. I want to love you all.
Okay.
And Jeremy,
don't get too rabies.
Close.
No rabies.
Yeah.
Don't give us the rabies.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the Tubcast. Thank you.